Damn hockey players wouldn't do that. How about you? Who are you?
How's this Mike Rock? He's on his way down too, so he's got your money.
Yeah, they did. They was a game after
First of all, I want to thank all you guys for covering all the games this past week. It was a lot, and I don't think I had any complaints about somebody not showing up. So that was a good thing. I appreciate that. Thank you. I also want to thank two guys that I worked with this week. I never worked with before. We had a good time. They did a good job. And I just want to let them know that that they did really do a good job. So I'm happy with their work, and I'll work with them anytime. Joe, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. It's a cool day today, but there's going to be some hot ones coming. And I brought this along just to pique your interest. It's a welder's scarf. It has little chemicals in it inside those balls or whatever. You dip it in a cold water before the game, hook it around your neck, and when it sits on your spine back here, on your, whatever that thing is back there, that nerve that goes up into your brain, it keeps you cool, a lot cooler than you would be without it. And it'll last most all game. And you can always take it during the game if it's really hot, take it and dip it in some ice water and put it back on again. If it's, but this will help you a lot on those scorcher days that are coming. We are going to have them. So get yourself a welder's scarf. Where are you going to get this? It's San Diego Welder's Supply. A lot of your better umpire accessory stores will have it. I don't know the name of it, but what is it?
Cool Tide. I think if you Google Cool Tide,
Cool Wrap.
C-O-O-L.
Cool Wrap. Cool Wrap. Okay.
Cool Tide.
Cool Wrap.
They have them at camping places.
At camping, yeah. That would be
Yeah, with the nice guy saying he.
Okay, that's all I got. Get one. Put it in your bag. Be ready for the heat.
I was a welder, and I knew those existed. Also tonight, Gary's going to touch on some, whatever he told me, I can't remember right now. But anyway, he's going to talk about some plays, maybe that after go over a few of those. Stu, you have anything?
We are thin on patches. I'm looking around and I'm getting a local source, so we don't have to send out to Taiwan anymore, but hold on to what you got. Unless you want blue. I got plenty of blue. It's the black. I'm having people come into my house between meetings, picking up all my patches. All right.
Are any new people here?
Is that Ryan?
Yeah.
Arizona.
Come on up, Ryan.
Going playing fire for today.
Oh, you talked to Stu?
He's all right. He's all right.
You new also? Yeah. Have you talked to Stu yet?
I don't believe so.
Come on up. Come on up.
I also have
Next
two
contestant.
guests here. Sam Gaya, Frank Ardea, Richard Tedester, Jordan Shepard. I don't know why I have them, but if you want them, pick them up.
Stan. Do you have anything?
One of the things that came up was the speed of the game, speed up the game. I noticed that some of the tricks that we have are not being used. When there is a relief pitcher coming in, what do you think the base umpire ought to do? Count the pitches. And when you get to 6, give a signal to your plate umpire, 2 more. Remember, it's his game. He's the umpire in chief. So give the signal for 2 more, then go back and tell the guys, okay guys, 2 more next go. So they all split and get good. It works really good. And it looks sharp, looks like we're working as a team. Second of all, when you've got a lineup sheet and substitutes are coming in, you pull out the lineup sheet, you're fumbling through it, trying to get the right number. It takes time. What do we really need to do? Huh? 26 for 17/6th inning, right? As long as you keep a tab of who comes in and who comes out, who goes back in for return, so forth. Write it down. Tell the opposing coach or the book. They don't know who the book is, who cares? Hey coach, book, 26 for 7. Right? All you gotta do is just write it down on your white piece of paper inside your piece of paper. You don't have to fumble with all the lineup sheets to get it correct. How many times have we had a problem, or you had a problem, where you had to go with the lineup sheet to correct it? If there's a problem with the lineup, who do you go to? Go to the books. Let them, 2 coaches take care of it. If they can't do it, then they come to you. And you say 26 for 7 in the 6th inning. 19 for 4, also 4 return. Circle it. It speeds up the game and it stops you from walking over to each coach and telling them what's going on. Just have them come out there where you're staying on the side, write it down, and that's it. You'd be surprised how those 2 things speed up a game. And it looks professional, it looks like you know what you're doing, period. Anybody else got any speed ups?
Call some strikes.
While they're talking. That's all I got. I just had 2. Anybody else?
Stan,
Yeah.
on that relief pitcher thing, maybe that the base umpire,
Just walk up to the mound.
to let the pitcher know, hey, you got
Yes.
this many outs, runners.
Yeah. If you walk up to the mound, tell the relief pitcher you got 8 pitches.
I don't even tell them.
Tell him. Okay, what else? Best thing to do is a little preventive umpiring. You hear our bosses, our guys talking about preventive umpiring. Just walk up to them and say, you got 8. And you got 2 more. Make sure your plate umpire understands there's 2 more to go. Turn around and leave the mound, go back to your position. Your B or C or the A position. Anybody else got any cookies like that?
Yeah, don't tell them how many pitches they get. Sometimes they just say, I'm ready in 4. And so, okay, let's
If
go.
they're ready at 4 and 5.
Tell them 8 pitches they.
No.
One call.
Anybody else get any quickies like that? Anything to help fellow umpires like me? Hey, I'll take all the suggestions I can get. Yeah.
You talk about circling the number of the sub and leaves.
No,
I need to get help.
if he returns.
Yeah, I mean, when I've got a starter re-entry and I circle them, I use a red ink. And that tells me that that player is now ineligible also. So that I know that the starter's in, and then if another player comes in to take the sub out, I circle the starter in red and let me know. He's no longer ineligible.
Sounds like an idea. Anything to get you away from walking back and forth between the coaches. Because it takes time, and it looks kind of funny that you're running back and forth between the coaches. But if you're standing at the mound and you tell the guy you get 8 pitches, right? Or at the start of the game, you go to the catcher. You and the catcher become real good friends, right? The inside corner, so forth. You tell the catcher, hey, catch it. Between innings, how many pitches?
Take your dues out
The
of
catch goes, I don't know. How many? You got 5. By the way, catch, it's on your account.
an email, but I wanted you to, so thanks.
It's on your account. Down on 5 for me, okay? Walk away. But what you do is you make sure that you're counting that first time he gets to do it. To make sure that he understands that it is 5. Now, when a relief pitcher comes in, what do you tell him? The catcher. You got 8.
Throw some strikes.
Build preventive umpiring. It works, yes.
Stan, if a sub is not listed on the lineup card, can the manager put the guy
In
in?
high school, yes. In high school, it doesn't matter if all the subs are not on the card. They should be on the card, but by high school rules, You ever seen that in these questions? High school rules, yes. Think of all the stands, I don't care. As long as you let, you know, now. Right number and name, if they're not on the sheet. You know, I want to put in Stan Katowski, number 5. And tell the coach, we got an input that's not on the card. Okay, book? Everybody else?
Reggie?
Keep the batters up on the batter's box. Instead of walking 4 feet off the box, keep them only the 1 foot out.
It's a good one. Hey, stay in the box with me, okay? You don't have to get belligerent with them, just say, stay in the box with me, okay? And stay a little bit higher so the people on the other end can hear it.
The real one?
Okay?
Sometimes I'll tell the coach, he's giving signs, seems like it takes him a minute. Okay, let's go. Let's go. You know, you pick it up. Maybe after the inning, say, coach, you gotta get a little bit faster.
Is that before or after? Third inning and 2 hours.
Arthur. You passed. Michael. Stu.
Tom? Yes, sir. Do you want to share?
Tom Allen?
Sure. Had a situation, Patrick Henry, they have a decertified bat that they are using. If you don't know which decertified bats are, I'm going to give a copy of this to Sal so you can put it on the website. It's basically the one that we're looking for is the Marucci Cat 5, 33-inch, 30 weight. That's the only one. The 3229 is legal, the rest are legal. The 3330 has been decertified back in 2012. So if you're not aware, Patrick Henry has one. And it came into question in the game that we had, and I forgot what size it was, so I bluffed my way by the coach. He could have protested it, because we did not call it out on the play.
What level?
Varsity.
Varsity?
Well, yeah, varsity, Patrick Henry varsity. So they also have a Cat 6 in their inventory, but the Cat 6 is legal, but the Cat 5, and I'll get this information to Sal, so we have it. Because if you let the bat stay in and you don't call it out, you're subject to protest. If you call the wrong bat out, that's subject to protest. You've got to get it absolutely right.
And the other,
Like you say, we'll have South.
There's another
We used to
bat.
have those bats on there a few years back.
Yeah, there's a Reebok Vector bat that's also on there, 2 sizes, but I've never seen a Reebok Vector bat ever. So with the Marucci's, you will see. So they have pictures and.
Big Sal will take care of it.
So yeah, so if you have Patrick Henry, just be aware, and I'll get this information to Sal.
Thank you, sir. What's up?
Just what came in with my game. I had backswing, batter's interference today.
Did you?
Backswing, batter's interference.
Haven't had it yet.
Are you sure that the coach didn't say a word? Are you sure you had backswing interference? Because there's a difference.
Follow through.
Well, backswing, follow through to the bat. It's in the rule. It's a good no.
Backswing is there's no penalty. Follow through there is.
Follow through interference.
Cool.
If the catcher's trying to make a play on the
Play on the runner?
I called the batter out.
Batter out,
Left 2. Batter back in the box.
Hey, baby. Good call, Boo.
Say a word. Machado didn't say a word.
What's up?
The question for pay, how it goes. Freshman is supposed to be cash, right? Other than some schools are already.
Except for South Bay does voucher.
No, Rosemont Lake's doing vouchers too. West Hills is doing vouchers. Yeah.
You guys keep it down, please.
Are they supposed to clear this, or are we supposed to go with it? I mean, I hate to fill out a voucher and then start making a bunch of phone calls to that association.
And I
Okay, guys, can I get your attention, please? I did a frost game a couple weeks ago, it was a voucher. It was South Bay.
We don't have a choice, the schools require, the districts are required to do that.
Yeah, the districts are requiring the schools at South Bay to do vouchers. Hang on, Paul.
Hey Bob, can we go back over to Jim O'Hanlon's play there?
Sure.
He called, who did he call out?
I called the runner out with less than 2 outs, and the batter stayed in the box.
No, it's the other way around. It's the other way around.
I told him that, but he didn't believe me.
So,
Yeah, the runner goes back. Runner goes
you
back.
penalize the runner, you penalize the batter, and you send the runner back to first.
Coach complained I didn't care.
Batter out, runner goes back.
Less than 2 outs.
Unless you're trying to steal.
This is the play like a pitch.
You had a runner at first, right?
Yeah, on the first go to second base, I'm still.
Penalize the batter, he's the
I was up for him.
don't penalize the batter.
I couldn't run out either.
Make sure what do you mean the square? I'm just telling the schools, that's what, oh, this. Sal.
Hey, guys.
I had a game at Steel Canyon, freshman game. They required a voucher. They didn't have one. I went to Vermont, turned it in, and I got paid last week, so it worked.
Okay.
Well, if you guys don't have a voucher, just use the one that's on the website, I can fill it out for you.
You guys ready? Art,
What's there?
are you ready? No.
Not yet.
Gary,
Yeah,
we'll talk about what Jim just talked about, and Gary's got some issues to go over.
some of
Things.
these things are things that happened in the Lions tournament, and some of them are questions that umpires called me with and wanted a ruling. So I think there's 4 of them here. I'm going to go over each one of them with you tonight in no particular order. This particular situation was the batter hits the ball to the shortstop, who bobbles the ball and throws to first base late, runner's safe, but the runner doesn't touch the bag. The ruling is the runner beat the ball and he's considered to be safe. He has to be out on appeal. Or they have to tag him before he comes back to the bag. But just because he missed the bag, you can't call him out. He's safe until by appeal. The other one is one we just talked about. Yes.
You don't signal every first base umpire, right?
No.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you stay safe.
Call him safe.
Right, you stay safe. You gotta call him safe. Because he's not out.
So you do signal.
Right.
If you don't say anything, you're giving it up.
You can't do that.
Ball through interference is defined. Okay,
If they appeal before the runner comes back to the base, you can call out.
correct. There's only 2 ways he can be called out. A legal appeal before he comes back to the bag, or tagging before he comes back to the bag. Other than that, he's safe. With fall through interference is not backswing interference, guys. Backswing interference takes place before the pitch is executed, and there's no penalty. You've seen it before where a guy's taking some practice swings in the box and he contacts the catcher. That's backswing interference and there is no penalty. You just start again. Yes.
Quick clarification. Is it after the start of the pitch or before the completion of the pitch? A lot of times you'll have batters swinging their bat and the pitcher's in his windup or in his pitching motion, and then he'll clip the catcher's glove in the middle of the motion. Is it time right there and no pitch?
Yes.
Okay.
Time,
Making
there's
sure.
no pitch, there's no penalty, and there's no pitch.
Thank you.
And with backswing interference, it's when there is a pitch and the batter swings at the ball, contacts the catcher's mitt or the catcher himself or some part of the catcher, and impedes his throw to second base, then, or to third or anywhere for that matter. But what you do is you call the batter out and you return the runner to the bag if there's less than 2 outs. That's the proper way to handle it. If there's 2 outs, you call the batter out. Follow. Once follow through comes as an active hit.
Hey Gary?
Yeah.
I hear some discussion with a runner on a squeeze play that happens.
Yeah. On the squeeze play,
Yeah.
if there's 2 men out, the batter's out.
So I'm hearing every time the batter's out.
If there's 2 men out, there's only every time the batter is out.
1 or 2, doesn't matter how many outs. No outs? Okay, how about with no outs?
Batter's always out. Batter's out, batter's always
The
out.
batter's out. Oh, the batter is always out unless there's 2 outs, guys. It's not rocket science. Less than 2 outs.
Runner from third coming home on stage.
Right.
Runner's out.
Oh, so that's less than 2 outs. Right, less than 2 outs. Runners out. Yeah. If there are 2 men out, the batter's out. Any other questions on that particular play? The other one is the timing play, and this one seems to be getting a lot of problems as well. There was a runner at second and a runner at third with one man out and a fly ball to the outfield. Both runners saw the fly ball to the outfield and both runners tagged up. The runner that was coming home realized that the throw was going to go to third base, decided he wasn't in any particular hurry. The throw went to third base, and they tagged the runner at third out to the third out before the run crossed the plate. That's a timing play, guys. You got to be aware of it.
Did they get it right?
No, I can't recall whether or not right or not. I think so. And the last one I have to talk about is Hang Me Up. This one is a little bit catchy to a degree, and it catches coaches and umpires and base runners kind of off base. But here's the scenario. There was a runner on first base and less than 2 outs, and the coach had the hit and run sign on. And as soon as the pitch was delivered, the batter at first base took off for second base, and the batter swung and hit a line drive to the shortstop. Now the base runner's caught between first and second, and the shortstop, in his haste, airmails it over the first baseman's head into dead ball territory. Now the guy that was on base sees the ball being thrown into dead ball territory, and he knew that he was going to be able to go to third base by virtue of the award. So he goes to third base, and he's standing there, and the umpire puts the ball in play. And the alert coach, he goes over and throws to first base and appeals that the runner didn't tag up. The runner's out. And everybody's embarrassed, including the umpire, because he missed the play as well. So on tag-ups, guys, be aware of line drives because they can catch you with your hands in your pockets. Yes.
But the umpire shouldn't have said anything, right?
The umpire didn't say anything.
He shouldn't have, right?
No, he can't say anything.
Okay. That's an appeal play. It's basically an appeal.
It's just like if the runner misses first base and he runs into second base and you see him miss first base. You don't say anything, you wait for an appeal.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
So when the shortstop airmails the ball into the dugout, it's an immediate dead ball.
Right.
So You're saying once the ball's dead, that runner should have went back to first, touched first, and then jogged over to third? Is that-
Exactly.
Okay, I just want to clarify that for everybody. Okay,
You have to tag up, even though it's a dead ball.
okay. I saw some deer in the headlight looks around there.
Because, you know, a lot of umpires miss that. And I saw one guy miss that.
So would the runner,
You guys hear that?
given that the runner had to go back to first base, would he still have gotten third?
Yes, 2 bases. On the award.
Hey guys, anybody have any particular plays that happened during the tournament that you want to discuss?
Oh, there was a couple that I wanted to tell you about that I had phone calls. I won't go into the umpires, but I had an umpire call me and want to know if starting pitcher can re-enter. So, yes, they can.
As long as they stay on the field.
Starting
Once they go in the dugout, they cannot go back and pitch.
A starting pitcher can re-enter if he's taken out of the dugout. So,
But he can't go
re-enter every player one time.
Not as a pitcher. Once the pitcher leaves the field, he's got to stay on the field to go back to the mound.
That's not true. That's not true.
What's the rule?
Once removed as a pitcher, he can go back as a pitcher. One time.
All right, I got one for you guys. I want to use the relief pitcher. But he's the relief pitcher. Not the starting pitcher. That's the story.
When can a starting pitcher not come back in? When is it?
That's right, that's the only time.
When is it?
When the relief pitcher takes more than 8 pitches,
When the relief pitcher does what?
takes more than 8 pitches.
Takes more than 8 pitches. You're right, teachers. You're right. So what's a good idea for the base umpire to do?
Guys,
You work with me.
Okay.
The pitcher is substituted and he goes to the conversation. My understanding is he can't come back in.
that's not true.
That's not true. Here's how the rule reads. If you have 9 players on your lineup, one of them's the pitcher, and he pitches for 2 innings, and you take him out of the game and you bring in a relief pitcher, and he sits on the bench for 2 innings, you can put him back. So don't get it in your head that the starting pitcher cannot come back in, because he can. Right, he's the only one. Now, if you have a substitute pitcher, you take him out, he can't return.
A player may be removed as pitcher and returned as pitcher only once per inning, provided the return as a pitcher does not violate either the pitching, substitution, or charge conference rule.
Correct.
If the pitcher, because of an injury or being incapacitated, is replaced as a pitcher, and the above rule is satisfied, or is replacement requires more warm-up throws than permitted, and he will not return to the game as a pitcher.
So where does it say that you can't, if he's in the dugout, you can't come back? It doesn't say that. That's what you were saying, that he's got to be, he can't come back if he's in the dugout. No. That's,
He said it.
you agreed. I know, but see, I'm not saying you said it, I'm just saying you agreed with it. That's not true. Anybody else have anything funky happen? We got a good compliment from a judge. You know, he went around to all the different divisions, and he was happy with what the work that we had done. Of course, he knows it's always going to have, you know, we're not going to get everything right. But basically, he said it was a good tournament for us, and he was really pleased. I just want to pass that on to you, and thank you for that. Okay. And are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Mike? All right, yes, sir, Reggie.
How were the games as far as number-wise that we get this year compared to last year?
Art would know that answer.
I think we got more this year than last.
Or is that
I
right?
think we did. I think we had 129?
There were 136 teams in the
We had
tournament.
127 teams.
And we got that 1A division that was added there, and we had that one too.
Thank you very much.
So, well, I did it too.
You mean the 1+?
I worked in Division 1 game too. So. The 1+, I worked 2 of those.
I had them. Thank God for 2 hours and 5 innings.
Hang on, guys.
Is John Bono here? I have your test.
Okay.
So, see me after.
Please share with us.
Yeah.
Just call out there.
All right, Art's ready right now. But I just want to thank you guys for the job well done, okay? Appreciate it.
Sign in, Bob.
Score the pass.
The Denver Broncos. All right, gentlemen. So, before we go on this other stuff, I guess Glenn and hey Glenn, you and Jim were at Mir Mesa, right?
Correct.
Did you have a concussion?
Yes. Well, I don't know if we had a concussion, we had an injury. We had an
A
injury,
possible concussion.
a possible neck injury.
Okay, which.
Which, I'm not gonna make any determination. Let me
Okay,
explain
so,
what happened.
Wait, hold on. Hold on before you guys go into details, because it's really good that the rest of the umpires know how to handle the situation, okay? Because the coaches told me you handled it perfectly, fine. So, it's good for everybody else to know how to handle those situations. So, one of you can speak, not both of you, please.
Go ahead, John.
Thank you.
All right. What happened was, we had a guy, left fielder going for a deep fly ball. He made a step, he was going back, as he stepped, he forgot to put his hand where the fence was. His head hit the fence, went down. As soon as the ball got the infield, I called timeout. The coach went running out there to check on him, okay? Waited a few minutes, then Glenn went out, and I went out there, and I asked him, don't move him, we have a head injury, it's concussion-like symptoms. They called the ambulance, they were on the phone with the paramedics even before I got out there. But I went out there and made sure that they didn't move him or touch him with the head injury. I didn't say it was a concussion, I told the coach it's concussion-like symptoms. You tell the coach concussion-like symptoms, we're not doctors. But you can have an example of a concussion-like symptoms, and it's up to the coach to take care of it. You leave it up to the coaches to let them know if it's a concussion or not. That way, your liability is gone. We had to get the ambulance on the field. They came, after 30 minutes or so, we replayed the game, started the game up. I gave each team 5-minute warm-up to get loose again. I told the coach, the pitchers get there. Because of the delay we had, I told both coaches their pitcher could take as much time to re-warm up. So I don't want nobody else hurt. So I told the coaches, they get as much warm-up pitches. When they're ready to go, we're ready to go. Because I told the coaches, we're out here for the safety of the kids. You want to call the game, well, that's fine with me. They wanted to play the game, we played it out. It ended up to be a 2-0 game.
Anything you want to add there, Gary? No. No? You think they handle it right? Sounds like it did. Stan, did you have anything on those concussion things?
I was just talking about Larry.
Okay.
The legal thing is a bitch. Anytime you make a diagnosis, You take the place of a doctor. In my opinion, and I was just talking to Larry about it, if you see a kid staggering around, or a kid that's been knocked out or something like that, to say he has concussion-like symptoms, that's a toughie. I don't want to put you guys in a problem, or myself in a problem, where we're making diagnosis on the field. So this, I guess, by the rule book, we can say, by the symptoms, he is not to play the rest of this game. I think that would get us, Larry, that would get us off the rack. If we were saying, by the symptoms, he's not eligible to continue in this game.
That's Tom.
You, I'm sorry.
He had a concussion.
Can't be in the meeting.
And,
He knows it well.
I was thinking, what do you guys? I feel more comfortable as an umpire and as a, I live in California, and it's a litigation type situation here in California. By the symptoms, he is not eligible to continue this game. I think that gets us off the rack. What do you guys think? Yeah?
Behind you. I don't think you're diagnosing it when you say that he has concussion-like symptoms. All you're doing is saying that he's exhibited, and you can articulate what you've seen. He was staggering all over the place, he was out cold, and he's slurring his speech. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can observe, and if you observe those things, it just means that there's a possibility of a concussion. And that's all you're doing. You're just saying, I've seen these symptoms, and they're within my guidelines of what I have to consider this concussion protocol.
You let the head coach know.
Oh, absolutely.
Once you tell the head coach that, it's on their coaching staff to take care of it. You have just released the liability to the coaching staff by doing that.
You're basically a reporter. You're not deciding what it is.
It's not a,
Like Sergeant Joe Friday, just the facts, ma'am.
But I carry a badge.
by the rule book, it is in the rule book, suggested guidelines for management of concussion. Common signs and symptoms of concussion include that, and there's a whole bunch. I guess by the rule book, we can say concussion. But,
You say there's a concussion-like symptoms.
concussion-like symptoms?
Yeah. Don't say concussion. Say, I fear with these symptoms that there may be. My judge check it out.
Coach, it looks like concussion-like symptoms.
Yeah.
He's no longer eligible to play this game.
Right.
Okay.
Take it out of your.
I feel more comfortable.
On the NFHS website, they have a free class.
Oh, concussion. That's a coach's thing. I think Jim is correct. In his procedures that he did, hey coach, it looks like concussion-like symptoms, that they can't stay on the field. If you see them stagger or they fall down or something, and you even think, there's a problem, out. Don't even take a chance.
My partner has had these symptoms before the game.
Do you have the same partner all the time? Does that not show that you're not giving all the Just bear with me for a second. I know it's back there, I just. Shields? All right, gentlemen, real quick,
Take the worst is the number, 720. Okay, gentlemen, look. This is what I'm trying to do. If you call me or text me, sometimes just texting is good. I'm trying to put whoever does the base does the plate, okay? Go ahead and exit. Okay, when I'm asking you to put in the score, because in our tournaments, we're trying to put the score so the tournament director can get to it. This R right here, this is where you put the scores in, okay? See, it'll have the team's names, and then you just put in. You can also tell me if your partner's on time or not on time, okay? That will also tell me. If you want to make any additional comments, you make it on the bottom. If you went 8 innings, 10 innings, whatever it is, or you had a situation with the coach, you can put it in there too. Exit, okay? Go ahead and exit. If you don't tell me, there's a little note box right here. This is where you can tell me, hey, so-and-so took the bases, someone took the plate, whatever. You added notes, you hit the plus, write in the thing, and then you tell them who gets to see it. Basically, the officials is the one that wants to see it, okay?
Bill Toss.
Let everyone decide.
Bill Toss.
Okay. Just exit. So that's basically where I want people. Okay, so for the payment, this check's payment, we paid out the Lions tournament and the Phillips JV tournament. Some got paid for some of the Metro and the JV, but I kind of screwed up when I was doing the payroll. I forgot to put verifying all those games that happened the week prior. So if you didn't get paid from the 23rd to, no, hold on. I was trying to get us paid. The week was the 23rd from the 28th. Some people got paid on that bracket, some people didn't on that time period. If you didn't, we'll post it into the next paycheck. If you need it badly, hold on and I'll tell Mike Ross how much the difference was, all right? But that's all we're doing, all right? I think, the other thing is, you can now go to evaluations. You should be able to see your evaluation. View response. View report. View report. So you can go So you push the one, or here, another one. Yeah, push one. Okay, so that is an input, Bob Hernandez. No, hold on. Go to 8.3, I think is this way. Okay.
What a bozo.
And then right there, I'll show you your score. If you want to see the comments that the evaluator put, go keep going down. You right where it says personal, you hit that and it'll show you, but it also shows all the comments there. So you can also hit personal. It should tell you. Well, okay, that's just the.
Oh, that's just.
Yeah. But if it doesn't show the comments, you can push the score number, and it'll show you the comments that go with it. So basically, your evaluation is now on the view response if the evaluator has done it. So if I've gone out, I have not done your evaluation. I'm still catching up on stuff. So I have not forgotten. Anything else? Any other questions?
No, thanks.
No? Okay. I'm done. Yes.
I got one question. If you are getting paid by ref pay, will you get a notification via email?
You will get a verification from ref pay or arbiter pay, whatever it is, that you have, the money has been sent into your account. Okay? For those who did Ramona from March 23rd to 28th, you got paid on this paycheck, just to let you know. Okay?
Okay, class with Joe, you guys are excused. He's got the money for the class, so.
Everybody turns up. Well, you can stay if you want to.
But he has your money.
Give you the money.
As soon as they clear out, then we'll have Mike talk and then, here's all we got.
My name's on first.
Here comes Mike.
Second year. I don't even know who the class numbers are. But oh, 7. And that's not even how the new one. I didn't know what one. I can go in the number 1. It's a long way. Hey, how you doing? Good, man. Good. I'm going to start at 6:30. How you doing? Where you at today? Where you at today? Mirror Mesa. Yeah, I had the kid who ran into the wall. Oh, that was today? Oh, shit. I kept yelling at the pussy. Just keep going. So is it what, like one scene, he just ran and bing, and was down for the count? I guess. Did he pick up and throw the ball? Was he the one that picked the ball up and threw it back again? Oh, no.
The city tournament, and there was a JV put on by the St. Augusta tournament. Okay, like he said, so a couple of guys that we didn't get that into your check this time. But we will.
Check your pay statement.
Check your pay statement, and it'll tell you if you got paid for that tournament or not. We did pay everybody in the Lions tournament. The total umpiring fees this year for the Lions tournament was almost $18,000. So we did pick up a few extra games. So that's good. One other thing, if you want to have your dues taken out for 2016, I have a list up here. Come sign it. And we'll take that out during the next tournament check, which were the ones I just mentioned. So anybody have any questions on anything? Everybody had their checks that were correct from last week, I mean? What you got?
I did 3 games and tourneys before the Lions session. Does this check include those 3 games?
Yes. That check would be whatever you did from the 23rd.
Right.
And you did those 3 games that week of. Right. That's included in your check. You check on your receipt. The arbiter. Anybody have any questions for me? I'm gonna go ahead and pass out the checks. I try to, I don't know how you do this.
Start with the T's.
Start in the middle of the
Bob and I'll walk around, stay where you are, and we'll pass out the checks. That makes it easier, so we can see everybody.
Okay, so you guys got anything else?
I got mine already.
Other than you want your check? You, bud. Good job. Like you're on the bases. No, I don't have anything else. If you guys, still meeting adjourned? Somebody give me a, wants to go adjourn?
Second. Anybody wants to,
John, I need my truck
sign up
part.
for the,
It's sitting there waiting for you, Bob.
for the dues?
$15
Up here.
Okay, guys, thank you. Michael Higgins.